The Scottish town of Falkirk is situated halfway between Edinburgh and Glasgow. In the 19th century, the town was famous for its iron and steel works. While most of the industries in this area have now shut down, the local man-made waterways stand as a reminder of Falkirk's important role during the Industrial Revolution. But what brought Transworld Sport to Falkirk was not the town's rich history, but rather the chance to find out more about a new sport, which enjoys a fair amount of popularity in this part of the British Isles.
I always describe it as dodgeball and lacrosse because there's no really other way, and at the same time it's nothing like them.
It's a dodgeball-based game that's used a stick that looks very much like a double-ended lacrosse stick, if you like.
It just immediately prompts lots of questions for like Dodgeball the movie and what you're throwing at people with a stick.
But I always end it with, you need to go on my Facebook and have a look at all the photos or Google it.
VX, formerly known as Rocket Ball, is a sport which began 8 years ago in the English county of Yorkshire. A two-ended stick called a V-Sticks is used to scoop up balls from the floor and throw them. Players dribble by bouncing the ball or throwing it from one end of the stick to the other. Points are scored for hitting an opponent with a ball. A mixed-gender sport, the two main formats are one-on-one called V2 and the five-player team version V5. The CEO of VX Scotland, Gordon Archibald, co-founded the Falkirk Cannons Club in 2009 and was part of the team that represented Scotland at the inaugural World Championships back in 2007.
There was India, Pakistan, England and Scotland. And nobody held much hope out for Scotland because they're the only team with a mixed team, and actually we won that first tournament. Since then, the sport's kind of grown over the years. We're the only team at the minute in Scotland, but we have somewhere in the region of about 45 players playing in our club. So it's growing week on week.
Two of the leading players for the Falkirk Cannons are MEGHAN PLUMMER and Scott MACMICHAEL. Both have won world titles. Scott won the V2 title in 2011, while MEGHAN was crowned the first female V2 youth world champion the following year. Now competing as a senior, MEGHAN has joined Scott as one of the world's top 4 ranked players, and the two represent Scotland internationally in both V2 and V5.
For me, it's all about the speed. Getting the shots away as quickly as possible is vital to winning, because the more shots you have, the more likely you are that you're going to win, just by the percentage. But I think as well, you need to be quite quick, minded, because it's a really high tempo game.
V2 is played on a squash court with 3 balls and is the most intense version of the sport. 1 point is scored for hitting your opponent below the neck, and 2 are awarded for catching a ball. Players can defend themselves with their stick, but must stop when hit and raise their hand to signal the score. Until the referee tells them that player is out of the game and may not pick up any balls or be hit again. Any infringements can be penalised by 3 points, so honesty and integrity are key to the sport. V5 is played in the same way, but on a larger court and with 5 balls.
The sport is actually really easy to pick up. I found that after the first couple of sessions where you feel like you're never going to be good at it, it's almost like it clicks.
VX is an amateur sport, with all the clubs being run by volunteers. At the Cannons, it's the senior players who take responsibility for coaching and promoting the team. A designer by trade and a fitness fanatic, Scott MACMICHAEL has been with the club since the beginning and is impressed by the physical nature of the game.
VX was introduced to me sort of in 2007, back when the sport first started. It was actually, my dad was at a conference for PE teachers and saw a sort of demonstration game and was just really taken in by the sort of variety and challenge that it offered, and just basically picked up a stick as soon as I could and kept playing. when I describe it to others, I say I've played things like squash, and that can be a really hard workout. But even in squash, there's a break or a pause when a point's won and you go back to service. But a proper game of VX, be it V2 or V5, the intensity is solid for a full 4 minutes at a time.
Co-founder Gordon Archibald is a PE teacher and oversees most of the club's coaching sessions. Youth participation is on the increase and more local schools are taking to the sport. VX is largely self-refereed, promoting fair play amongst children.
When I was young, playing football for instance, I would like to have thought I was a good football player, but I wasn't. I used to spend all playtime running about chasing the ball but never actually seeing a ball. With there only being one ball in the game, it's very difficult. In VX, of course, there's 5 balls, and as you're learning to play the game, there's always a ball will roll past you, you'll be able to pick that up, and then you're involved in the game. So for children who tend to shy away from the kind of traditional sports of basketball, football, rugby, this is an ideal sport for them.
As more people discover and start to play VX, competition for places on the Scottish national teams is on the increase. There are currently 12 nations across 4 continents who take part at the VX World Championships.
Every year when we've gone to a World Championship, it just gets quicker, more relentless. The technique on display, and so at the age I'm at, it's great to see the youth, because the actual skill level that they're coming through, it's a completely different game now than it was in 2007.
Since beginning life in the UK 9 years ago, VX is now played in countries as far away as India and the United States. For the practitioners of this sport, Olympic inclusion may be an unrealistic hope, but there's certainly no harm in dreaming big.
Well, I'd like to see it hopefully one day in an Olympic Games. That'd be pretty awesome. And I think that as a sport, it's amazing for spectators because it's so fast and so intense and exciting that it would do amazing on like the world stage and somewhere like the Olympics. So hopefully one day you'll see it.